Welcome in to New England Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we are going to discuss the latest Patriots rumor from Bleacher Report of one free agent the Patriots should consider signing. We'll tell you who that is, go over some numbers and whether it makes sense for the Patriots or not in just a few moments from right now. Before we do, folks, we already reached 1,000 subscribers, which was a big milestone here on the channel, but we don't want to stop there. We want to keep this thing growing and get as many people as we can to be a part of this daily coverage that we're doing, talking New England Patriots. More subs we get, more coverage we can bring you, and longer videos. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to subscribe to the channel, and I need your fellow Patriots fans and friends to subscribe as well for the latest happenings on your team. We're talking draft, maybe just around the corner, trades, free agency, and more. This is the channel for the diehard Patriots fan and in true Chat Sports fashion as well. Subscribe today, youtube.com/Patriots Today. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. So Bleacher Report picked wide receiver Jarvis Landry as the best fit of remaining free agents for the New England Patriots. Landry, of course, spent a good number of years in Cleveland with the Browns. This past year went to the New Orleans Saints and had a disappointing year, but still a very talented receiver. So what about this idea of bringing him to New England? Here's more from Bleacher Report. After signing Juju Smith-Schuster, the Patriots have a go-to target. However, they might not be comfortable with the rotation of Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, and Tyquan Thornton. Jarvis Landry has injury concerns after missing 13 games in the last two seasons, but he's the best receiver available. Landry caught 25 passes in 9 outings last year. Here's a look at the depth chart. As you can see, Juju, the big signing for this team, but there's obviously some pizzazz, something missing there when you look at this depth chart for the Patriots. Whether they go the draft or looking at free agent options, with where they're at right now isn't simply good enough. They have to do something of some sorts. Landry, the numbers on him, let's tell you about that. Last year wasn't that great with 25 catches for 272 yards and just 1 touchdown in 9 games played. Has not played a full season since 2019. That was, of course, back when we played 16 games in the NFL. He had over 1,100 yards that year with 6 touchdowns. So if he could stay healthy and be available, I think you're still talking about Jarvis Landry being a pretty decent receiver in this league. If he's cheap, sure, I'm not opposed at all to bringing him in. But let's take 2 steps back here. Remember this, the priority when it comes to receiver at this point, now that you've brought Juju in, although Jarvis Landry would be nice, and I'm not opposed to that for the right price, the priority should still be going through the draft. Just because you bring in Jarvis Landry potentially shouldn't stop you from still getting one of the receivers in this draft. And there's some pretty decent ones. Jackson Smith-Njigba's a possibility. And we've already heard reports that some teams believe he's the only first-round wide receiver in this draft. Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnston, Zay Flowers, Josh Downs, just to name a few. I was talking to a friend of mine, Keegan Renault, who does data analysis throughout the draft, and I was asking him about the wide receiver position. He said there's few options when it comes to wide receiver ones, like a Jackson Smith-Njigba potentially, but if you go up and down the draft, there are a lot of potential wide receiver number 2s. You even go even further back. A guy like Marvin Mims out of Oklahoma, who'll be picked in the 3rd or 4th round, has a resemblance to Elijah Moore potentially and could be a number 2 receiver in New England. So, yes, the Patriots do need to get receivers. I don't know if they necessarily go first round, but you need receiver help. Just because you potentially get Jarvis Landry, that shouldn't stop you from looking at some of these potential receivers in the draft. So, back to Jarvis Landry. Before we wrap up today's show, should the Patriots sign Jarvis Landry? What do you think? Tell me in the comment section. Type Y for yes, type N for no, and get into those comments and elaborate a little further. Tell me what you really think on this possibility. Y for yes, N for no. Should the Patriots sign Jarvis Landry or not? Subscribe to the channel. We're talking about your New England Patriots, getting you ready for the draft. We are ramping up coverage here as we're talking about the New England Patriots like no one else is. Subscribe now for free today, and we'll see you next time right here on New England Patriots Today.